Hi, I'm Chris, and I'm talking about the Settlers of Catan. In particular, I'm going to be talking about the Traders and Barbarians expansion, and in specific, I'm going to be talking about the Barbarian attack scenario. It's one of 5 scenarios. It's the 4th scenario, and each one is in increasing depth. So what we have here, what's new is we now have a castle hex. This hex doesn't produce any resources. It's where knights spawn from. We have a predetermined number set up. It's important to have this scenario so that there's one and only one of each number along the coast. The resources themselves were randomized. And what we have is, attacking Catan, we have the Barbarian Horde. These are not pregnant women. These are actually supposed to be little guys with shields. They represent the Barbarian. And defending against the forces of evil, we have over here knights. These are supposed to be little guys on horses. So each player has a set of 6 knights of their color. And so what happens during a turn, whenever a new settlement or a new city is built, barbarians are going to attack Catan. So dice are rolled 3 times. Whatever that number is where barbarians are going to come out along the coast. If you roll a 7 or roll a number that you just rolled, you re-roll until it's not a 7 or it's not a number that you previously rolled. So 3 barbarians are going to come out every time a city or settlement is built. How do you get knights out? Knights come out through a new development card deck. This replaces the development card deck in the basic game. Pretty much half the cards say put a knight out at the castle, the other half of the cards say put a knight out on any hex of your choice. So at the end, knights come out between hexes just like roads do. If at the end of your turn, if there are more knights than barbarians, you have defeated the barbarians. If you're the only player with knights there, you put the barbarian in front of you as your prisoner, and you get 1 point for every 2 prisoners you have. However, things get a little tricky when multiple players are involved. If you get 2 barbarians, and it took 2 players in order to conquer it, each player would get a barbarian. However, in a situation like this, where there's not enough barbarians to go around to all the players who help contribute towards conquering them, a die roll determines who gets it. High die roll is the player who gets it. If you're the player who does not get the barbarian, as a consolation prize, you get 3 gold. Gold can be used during your turn. You pay 2 gold to the bank to get any resource that you want from the bank. Really good deal, very versatile, very powerful. At the end of any battle where the barbarians are expelled, you roll a single die, and then you match that up over here on the castle hex. You find the side of the hex where that number is, and then you also look at the opposite side. So you look at these 2 sides, find the corresponding 2 sides on the hex where the battle took place. Any knights on those sides of the hex are killed. They go back to the player to be reused later. So there are casualties after a battle. If you lose a knight like that, you get 3 gold as a consolation prize. So this is definitely the most direct form of combat ever seen in Catan. In fact, it's possible for, if you have 3 barbarians on a hex, the production number gets turned face down. It's not going to produce any resources, and any cities and settlements just on that hex are worth no victory points, until of course you have 4 knights on there and they're able to defeat the barbarians once again. So it's the most direct form of combat ever seen in a Catan game. So it's really interesting and really unique in that way. Very different from a normal game of Catan. We really like it and we have a lot of fun and we think it's very interesting.